This story taps into the primal fear that our own bodies or familiar senses might be deceiving us. Dim the lights. We begin. The second shift at the morgue. Ed had been working as a night shift orderly for 6 months. You get used to everything. The smell of formaldehyde, the silence, the cold that seems to crawl right under your skin. He always said you shouldn't fear the dead, it's the living you have to worry about. But that night, his conviction was shaken. At 2 in the morning, a body was brought in, an elderly woman found in a locked apartment. Neighbors had called the police because of a strange scratching sound behind the wall that lasted for 3 days. When the door was forced open, she was lying in the middle of an empty room. There were no nails on her fingers. They had been worn down to the bone against the hardwood floor, as if she had been trying to claw onto something or dig something up. Ed filled out the paperwork and wheeled the gurney into cold storage unit number 14. As he closed the heavy metal door, he thought he heard a faint, barely audible sound coming from inside. It sounded like a dry exhale. "Just nerves," he whispered to himself. "Just air escaping the lungs. Physics." He went back to his small office, poured some tea, and turned on the old TV. It was showing nothing but static. Ed reached for the remote, but froze. In the reflection of the darkened screen, he saw the hallway behind him. The door to cold storage unit number 14 was ajar. He remembered distinctly locking the bolt. Ed stood up, feeling a sticky sweat crawl down his spine. He stepped out into the hallway. The silence was so thick he could hear the thrum of blood in his own ears. Scritch, scritch, scritch. A faint, rhythmic sound. Someone was dragging something hard across the tiled floor. The sound was coming from around the corner, from the direction of the autopsy room. Ed grabbed a heavy flashlight and slowly followed the noise. When the beam of light sliced through the darkness of the room, Ed nearly screamed. The gurney was empty. The sheet lay on the floor, stained with something black. And in the far corner, tucked right under the ceiling, sat it. It wasn't the old woman. It was a creature with unnaturally long, withered limbs covered in gray skin. It crouched on top of a steel cabinet, its neck twisted at an impossible angle. Its eyes, 2 massive, cloudy orbs, stared directly at Ed. The creature slowly raised a finger to its lipless mouth and made a sound that caused Ed's legs to give way. It was the voice of that very same old woman, but it sounded like a scratched, broken record. "Help me get out of her." In that moment, Ed realized it wasn't the old lady, it was what had been living inside of her, and now it was looking at him, measuring the size of his chest. Suddenly, the hallway light flickered and died. In the absolute darkness, Ed heard the creature leap to the floor, a heavy, wet thud. Scritch, scritch, scritch. It wasn't running. It knew Ed had nowhere to go. The only door at the end of the hallway was bolted from the outside for the night.